I forbid you to be nervous.
Easier said, my dear. Facing Queen Victoria and Prince Albert is like looking down the muzzle of a double-barreled shotgun.
So, you call it a rebellion and not a mutiny?
A mutiny is merely a rising of soldiers against their officers, but this is much more. This is a national revolt amongst all classes of the Indian people.
Yes, that is true. Then, I assume you are not in favor of reprisals.
Well, there must be punishment for those guilty of atrocities, but for those who fought against what they see as persecution, there must be justice tempered with mercy.
Yes, Her Majesty and I have discussed this matter fully and have reached the same conclusions.
You spoke of a change of policy. What do you propose?
We propose, ma'am, to take the rule and power of India from the East India Company and transfer it to the Crown, to appoint a viceroy and to issue a proclamation to the native princes and population that the Queen of England guarantees their laws, customs, and religion.
That could do much.
More than all our fleets and armies, sir.
I look forward to seeing your detailed proposals. But what is the feeling of the House toward your government now?
It is not kind, sir, but for now the opposition is content to let us pull their chestnuts out of the fire. And after so many years in temporary quarters, it is a pleasure to be in the new House of Commons, which is so admirably suited to our purposes.
I, as you may know, was chairman of the Reconstruction Committee.
Of course. And that explains, if I may be permitted, ma'am, the brilliant use of space and the perfect blend of comfort with harmonious proportions.
We must not detain you any longer, Mr. Disraeli.
Your most faithful servant, ma'am.
What an extraordinary man. He's really quite handsome, don't you think? Although so very Jewish.
I cannot understand why I had such an unfavorable opinion of him. Our views are so surprisingly similar. Oh, it.
You cannot expect us to support you in this bill, Mr. Disraeli.
But I do, Robert.
Giving the right to vote to the lower paid can only benefit the Liberals.
I should have thought that to cure injustices would have been the aim of every responsible government.
Reform is a dangerous experiment. Dangerous for the country and the government.
Robert?
No, Father, I must speak. It's only what many others are thinking.
Political thought must develop, even in the Conservative Party.
Now, I tell you frankly, sir, I cannot support you.
I must apologize to my son.
There's no need, Lord Salisbury.
I, of course, shall thank you.
Disraeli is
Robert Cecil is right in a way. Voting reform is Liberal policy. We shall outrage them if we adopt it and not please our own supporters.
That is why we need all the strength we can muster, and I shall expect you to speak, Edward.
As you know, I have been in poor health for some time. I doubt if I could stand the strain of a violent debate.
Everyone must be there, even if they have to be carried in on a stretcher. I shall give you a public funeral if you die before Easter.
Not. Radicals should back us.
Oh, precisely. Disraeli is selling us out.
Well, I am with him. The right to vote must be extended.
I agree. Besides, it is a way of beating the continuous majority of the Liberals in Parliament.
I don't know. I can't vote against my own party, but...
Have you heard, Mr. Gladstone? What do you say?
This attempt to curry favour with the lower elements is the act of an unprincipled adventurer desperate to cling to power at any price. You should appeal to the honour of your leader.
Oh, it's no use. Lord Derby is only interested in his racehorses. He leaves everything to Disraeli. That's what it's come to. We're governed by a Jew and a jockey.
So the ayes have it. Resign!
word for this bit.
Well, all the Liberals had to do was promise the Radicals more sweeping reforms if they voted against it.
Once again, Derby will have to resign due to that mountebank Disraeli.
Be agreed to. Those in favour, say aye. Aye! To the contrary, no.
Oh, now, my dearest, the doctors expressly said that you were to stay in bed.
Oh, I'd only lie there fretting. Besides, Lord Stanley's coming to dinner and I've got to cut your hair before he arrives.
Please, my fair Delilah, spare me that martyrdom. Something wrong?
I've just been reading this article by Robert Cecil in the Quarterly Review.
Ah.
Is that all you can say? Oh. That the son of one of your oldest friends should write such a thing? Mr. Disraeli's policies in the House of Commons have long discredited and misguided the
Conservative Party, and his tactics are so he's only doing what young politicians do to further their career. Attack their elders.
Yes, but what makes me angry is the fact that it appeared in the Quarterly Review, the leading Conservative journal. Well, it's clear proof that your own party still doesn't trust you.
I've dealt with it.
How?
Well, I've written an open letter to all the leading members of my party saying that since they all obviously agree with this attack on me, that I shall resign as soon as possible.
What did they accept?
Of course not. The mere threat was enough. They begged me to reconsider, which of course I shall.
Oh. It's all a game to you, isn't it? A great game.
No, not entirely.
No, not entirely. After 23 years of service, 23 years of struggle, what have you? Nothing but bills and debts and demand for payments.
Something will turn up. It always does. They will be met.
How? By borrowing more and more money? Where will it end?
Marianne, do not distress yourself. You know that whatever happens, you need never worry.
I am not thinking about myself, don't you understand? I shall not always be here, and money dies with me. What will you do when I'm gone?
I cannot imagine such an empty world. I would rather live with you in a hovel than with a duchess in a tower of gold. Shall I tell you the news? It will make the wife of every member of Parliament envious of you. Huh?
Envious of me?
No, mad with envy.
Oh, don't tease, dearest. What news?
We have been invited to spend the weekend at Windsor Castle with the Queen and the Prince Consort.
Why has I never asked?
That's what makes it so special. Are you pleased?
Oh, I don't know if I'm thrilled or terrified. Is it true? Dizzy? I'll stay and do all the wrong things. You know I don't know how to behave.
Just be yourself, Marianne. I'm bound to adore you.